السلام عليكم بسم الله الصلاة والسلام على رسول الله رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. I just wanted to talk about a mindful gratitude, that one of the beautiful qualities that we're supposed to have at the end of Ramadan is لعلكم تشكرون, that we're supposed to have gratitude at the end of Ramadan. And today, as we reflect, I'm here at the City Hall here at Coppell, and we just finished a year of a really beautiful program here in city of Coppell, which is part of one of the major cities here in Dallas, about how to have a deep sense of belonging, and how to connect with each other across culture and faith and generations. And that's why we're a little bit delayed today in our live stream, but we were discussing about this concept of feeling that sense of belonging, feeling that sense of connection. And what gratitude does is that gratitude helps us feel that deeper sense of belonging to God's mercy. That gratitude is recognition of all the blessings. What is shukr? What does shukr mean? The shukr is the ability to be mindful and the ability to acknowledge all the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That there are so many beautiful blessings that regardless of the pain that we go through and the difficulties and the sufferings that we have, that we're still able to focus and come back to gratitude. On the other hand, a lot of us, when we get into the mode of, we feel like, okay, there's something that is not happening in our lives, something's really not going for our favor, and we start thinking about circumstances, people, situations, and we complain. And we say that, I don't have enough, or I don't have this that I want, or I don't have this connection that I need, or I don't have this thing that I really desire. But at that time, what happens to us in our brain? What happens to our iman? What happens to ourselves? That just from a psychological perspective, the researchers from Stanford, they found that when you complain, that you are literally shrinking your brain. You're literally losing, cells from your hippocampus, which is very important in the brain to make intelligent decisions. So you're actually starting to shrink your brain. On the other hand, when you're grateful, you're building your brain. You're strengthening your heart. And all of this research that is showing that the beauty of gratitude. So it is something that I want to remind myself, because at times I see that I'm getting into a place where I want to not be in that dark place where I'm starting to complain about something in my life. And how do we at that time reshift and reorient ourselves and think about ways and things that we can be grateful for. So لعلكم تشكرون is something that we have to think about, that Ramadan, it teaches us as we're fasting through the day and we're thinking that the things that we were supposed to even have for the basic things that are needed for our livelihood, food and drink, we're giving those up for the whole day. And when we're breaking our fast, we see that how beautiful it is. It is raining here, and as we are touching, as the raindrops are touching, we see this is a blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Even this water touching us, and then we're having this beautiful day, just having another day to ourselves. So the tools that I want to share with you today, لَعَلَّكُمْ تَشْكُرُونَ, that how do we have that gratitude? How do we shift from complaining, shift from not being happy about something in life to just finding that happiness? There are about 1 billion neurons in your brain. Jean Kabat-Zinn, who is considered as like the father of mindfulness in this country, he came to Dallas and we went to his seminar and mentioned something really interesting. He said that when there is one thing that is not right, that you're feeling sick or you're not feeling well, and you complain that you're not feeling well, even at that time, there is about 1 billion neurons that are working just fine. There are millions of cells that are working fine. There are all these other organs that are working just fine. So reshifting our focus to things we're grateful for. So some tools I'll mention, they have done some research on 3 groups of people, and one group was just writing about difficulties and challenges they were having for about a few weeks, and another group was just writing whatever was coming to their mind, and the first group was actually the third group, which actually started writing about things they're grateful for. And they found that people that were writing things about things they're grateful for, they're feeling a lot happier. In the index that they created, 25% more happier than the other groups. And they're exercising more, and they're feeling better. And the other study that I wanted to quote is, they did a study on people that wrote a letter to thank someone they thought that they never got time to thank properly. And they were able to write that letter, and they found that the positive impact, the positive effect in the body and the mind stayed for weeks after sending that letter. So two takeaways is that we should reshift. Whenever we feel like complaining, stop, just sit in silence and count our blessings. Just take a pen, and sometimes when you're not able to think of anything, just freely write about things, just whatever comes to our mind. Just journal and write about things that you're grateful for. And just journaling for a few minutes every night before you go to sleep, teaching your kids to do that, it's something that studies have shown that it can completely change the way that we end our day in a positive note. We're healing our brain, we're healing our soul, we're healing our body, and we're waking up and we think about things that we're grateful for. This is really important. And then also thanking people. Like the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, it says that you cannot be grateful to Allah if you're not grateful to people. So how do we be grateful to others? Starting with our parents. Did we call them? Did we take care of them? Did we go and break iftar with them? Did we take something that they love in Ramadan? Did we ask their forgiveness? Did we ask them to make dua for us? So having that deep sense of gratitude for our parents, for our spouses, our siblings, our families, our relatives, our neighbors, our friends, and thanking them. Just going out of the way to write a note of gratitude. So spreading gratitude to others helps you feel that gratitude. And reshifting our brain from complain mode to the gratitude mode. What happens, one thing I want to end with is that neuroplasticity. Our brain, whatever you continue doing, if you are in the mode of complaining a lot and not feeling grateful, then what happens is that you start to make new neural pathways in your brain where you automatically start creating new pathways for complaining, for feeling sad, for thinking about negative things in your life. And then that becomes your default mode of operation. On the other hand, when you start being grateful, when you start thinking about things that you're grateful for, and you start writing down things that you're grateful for, you're creating new neural pathways in your brain, and you're actually thinking about things that you're grateful for, and you're creating pathways in your brain that automatically takes you back to things that you're grateful for. The more we practice, the more it is going to grow. So I'll leave you with this: what you practice grows stronger. The rain's coming in and it's beautiful. Allahumma, may Allah give blessing to this rain and accept all our du'as. And while the rain is coming, let's make dua that may Allah count us among those who are ash-shakirin, among those who are grateful. Thank you. Blessed Ramadan. See you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.